While 3D fighter titles like Dragon Ball Xenoverse have done a great job in capturing the essence of the Dragon Ball Z series, there hasn't been a 2D fighter for the franchise in a long time, and that itch needs scratching since the Super Famicom days. Is this the Dragon Ball fighter we've been waiting for, or will it let us down like Yamcha? Let's dive in and find out. Dragon Ball Fighterz feels like it draws from those classic SNES games while also taking a lot of cues from modern fighting titles like Marvel vs. Capcom. Its straightforward combo system and tag team mechanics are very similar. Basic combos can be accomplished by tapping a button several times, meaning just about anyone can pick up a controller and pull off some impressive looking moves. Throwing down super and meteor attacks is the same for all characters as well. There is a learning curve to mastering the basics, but it's the smallest, most approachable curve in a fighting game I've seen in a while. Fans of any age should be able to jump in and get going in no time. That's not to say Dragon Ball Z Fighterz is without nuance, but once the basics are mastered, there's a deeper layer of combat that advanced players will appreciate.
I was promised a good fight. Produce the challenger. Which one of you is it?
Much like the Injustice series, some levels have transitions or destructive finishes that can be activated by knocking out opponents with a power move.
Get too cocky!
In some instances, if the right characters have been selected, players may also experience executions adapted straight out of the anime series. Depending on what mode is being played, there's even a chance to collect all 7 Dragon Balls and summon the Dragon Shenron to grant a wish. It's definitely a feature unique to Dragon Ball Fighterz that can help even the playing field. It feels like many of the core mechanics are meant to keep that balance between casual and hardcore players. Visually, you could not ask for a better marriage of Arc System Works animation and cell shading.
Let's see if I can't give you a bit of a challenge.
Good idea!
Characters and backgrounds look like they were taken straight out of the show and given the HD update. The added bonus of the original Japanese voice cast just adds to the enveloping nature of the game's overall design. It's just a shame that the music that aired in the uncut anime in the States is absent in this version. Character models are expressive, and while there are still some clippy moments, like most cel-shaded titles, they're much smaller and harder to notice in Dragon Ball Fighterz. Gameplay modes are varied and scaled with your abilities, with very little punishment for not being at a certain level of adeptness. For example, Arcade Mode has a system that bases the next opponent on what grade a team gets at the end of the match. Almost every Dragon Ball game I've ever played has done a great job of putting players into historical moments throughout the series. But playing through the Super Saiyan saga for the up-10th time just to get to the meat and potatoes of the game has definitely become laborious over the years.
Vegeta! Vegeta! What's wrong with you? Tell me what his power level is! It's over 9,000! What? 9,000? You've got to be kidding me! That thing's a piece of junk!
Refreshingly, Dragon Ball Fighterz doesn't retell the same old story, but rather integrates the player into a brand new tale that heavily references from canon. If there is one glaring flaw to Dragon Ball Fighterz, it would have to be the inclusion of Capsule Corp-style loot crates over a more open in-game store. Capsules only contain items for the social hub area, like character avatars and character titles, and only cost a small amount of in-game currency to purchase. So it's not like there's a Star Wars Battlefront 2 level of controversy here. Still, it would be nice if I could have used the money I earned to buy items I wanted. As for the online mode itself, matches varied. One would be flawless one second and laggy the next. Like with any online game, your mileage may vary. At the end of the day, Dragon Ball Fighterz is a game made for fans of the series. It does a great job of keeping itself accessible to a wide range and scale of ability. Beyond the essential inclusion of Goku, Vegeta, and their progeny, the roster has a decent selection of friends and enemies from throughout the series, without getting bloated down by over-inclusion. This is truly the best Dragon Ball fighter I've ever played since the Super Famicom imports. It's pure fighting bliss. Longtime fans and even new fans who may just be familiar with Dragon Ball Super will find something to enjoy here if they're fans of fighting games. If you're looking for a fighting game and were disappointed by Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Dragon Ball Fighterz may be the perfect game for you.
What?
Open the chamber.
If they set that android free, it will be the end of all of us! No!
There's no way anyone could survive that! That was my most intense blast!
Looks like you spoke too soon. Now that's too bad. By doing that, you just showed them how weak you are.